listening to Inside the Nest right here on Bright Radio. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Robert Martinez. I am the executive producer for Inside the Nest. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited that you are here and for our weekly show. I have William Kim. He's currently looking at his sports. And William, what are we going to be talking about this week?
On my show, on The Dugout, we're going to be talking about the NBA and the exciting MVP race between Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Hopefully you guys will tune in. I think it'll be an exciting, very exciting show.
Awesome. And Darian Fuller with Tech Time. Darian, what are you going to be talking about in your show today?
What's going on, guys? This is Darian Fuller. Well, my show, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 picks of cars that are high in technology heaven of 2017. Please tune in.
So, Darian, did you tell me, do you get to drive any of these cars?
I wish. Not quite. Not yet.
Soon enough, Darian. Thank you so much. And of course, Liliana is on a trip, so you're not going to hear her this week. She is currently in Lincoln, Nebraska at a basketball tournament. So you are going to get Michelle Alice. She's going to have a wonderful Bible Babble episode for you today. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we're super excited you're here. This is Inside the Nest.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Tech Time. I am your host, Darian Fuller, and I am here to bring you the top tech cars of 2017. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, first up, the website I am using today is called extremetech.com. So if you want to check that out, you should totally do so after this segment. Anyway, so if you're shopping for a new car 2017, these, I'm only going to do 5, are like some of the top cars you should check out for if you are interested in tech. All right, let's start out. First, on the runners-up is the 2018 Equinox crossover by Chevrolet. It's a completely redesigned, as it states. To me, and they make it, and Chevrolet has designed the new Equinox to compete with some of the top compact SUVs like the Honda CR-V or the Tucson from Hyundai. Anyway, it has all of the features like the blind spot alert and the Apple CarPlay and all the entertainment stuff, which makes this if you're looking for a family compact SUV, definitely get the Equinox. Next up, the 2018 Tesla Model 3. Now, for all you electric car fans out there, I'm pretty sure you already know about this car. We all know Tesla is like one of the greatest. It's like a cell phone on wheels. It's a technological marvel. It's crazy. Anyway, they're supposedly supposed to have all the same features, including the updated autopilot feature, which, if you've listened to my first show, that failed. The autopilot feature kind of didn't really work, and it costed someone their life. So hopefully they have updated it. And next up is the 2018 BMW 5 Series. Now, this car is still in production, I guess you can say. So it's hasn't really been officially released as it's coming out with one. Got like spy pictures on this website. So all you BMW fans out there, look forward for that. Oh snap. And for all the Lexus people out there, we got the 2017 Lexus RX 3-row. apparently this is Lexus's best-selling model. I mean, how it looks pretty tough. And they gave it 5 extra inches, apparently allowing it to have a third row. I'm guessing that's going to do something with the cargo space a bit, but other than that, it's got your typical Lexus equipment. The navigation, with available navigation, the Apple CarPlay, the Android CarPlay. It looks like it's going to be a pretty tough SUV, and it offers all-wheel drive. It's really tough. Okay, and I guess our last one is going to be the 2017 Honda Clarity Fuel Cell EV plug-in hybrid. Personally, this car doesn't look like much. However, technological marvel. So it's supposedly it can travel 300 miles, which is wow, on a charge and the full tank of gas. That's really impressive. Wow. That has all the standard options, navigation, and the updated entertainment system. So be on the lookout for that. Well, guys, I guess this will conclude Tech Time for this week. Sorry the show was a bit short. It was shorter this week, but I promise next week it'll be a lot longer. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Dugout with William Kim, where we discuss some of the hottest storylines in sports on Inside the Nest. And today we are going to be talking about the NBA, where a lot of stuff has been going on. I have not talked about the NBA at all on the Dugout, so I thought it would be a good time since the Super Bowl is done and it's not baseball season quite yet. I know hockey's still going on. We will get to the NHL for all y'all hockey fans, but for this edition, we are going to be talking about the NBA. Right now, the NBA is very exciting, at least in my opinion, because there are some great players out there and there are some great individual efforts, and I think the NBA is really, really, really exciting. For example, right now, in the Eastern Conference, a lot of stuff is going on. The Knicks are pretty dang bad with their aging core, and they brought in some aging and injured superstars who tended to get injured a lot, like Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose. But more than the players, the organization is a mess. In my opinion, I think it is Phil Jackson's time to leave. I don't know much about the NBA, but Phil Jackson has not done a great job once he's come into the Knicks organization to fix all their problems. With Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis, one of the brightest young stars in the league, they should get to, I don't know, at least the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. But more than that, the Charles Oakley incident, one of the most respected players in NBA history, and especially in the Knicks organization, the enforcer, he was known as, with Charles Oakley getting into all that incident at the Madison Square Garden, and with him being banned for about 5 days before the Knicks repealed the ban, that just tells you how much this organization is struggling right now. It is time for something to change. Whatever it is time for something to change. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, the top of the Eastern Conference, they just lost Kevin Love and LeBron James. This means that LeBron James and Kyrie Irving are going to have to carry the team more than ever, and especially LeBron, because with Kevin Love out, when they're there, the big three, it's going to be really hard for them to keep at the top of the Eastern Conference because the Celtics are right on their tails, the Celtics and the Raptors. I know the Raptors have fallen off a little bit, but the Celtics, they are as hot as ever with Isaiah Thomas, IT, just taking him to work every single day. Isaiah Thomas, I think, is probably one of the most exciting offensive players in the game because he really can't play much defense. He's 5'8", but he's quick. But he just he just lacks the height and the arm reach to play really shut down defense as, say, Kawhi Leonard. But it's such a little dude. And what I most love about him is just like another little Boston player, Dustin Pedroia for the Boston Red Sox. He comes alive when the team needs him most, which is the fourth quarter. Most dudes in the NBA, 99% of dudes, shy away from the spotlight, and when they get the chance to, let's say, win a game or tie up a game to send it to overtime, they usually don't live up to the name, and they usually fall off and are not clutch. But Isaiah Thomas is so clutch. In fact, most of his... let's say, I think 40%, 30 or 20, 30%, maybe 35, 40, somewhere around there. That's how much he scores in the fourth quarter out of all his total points. So that just tells you that this dude is clutch, but more than that, this dude carries the team, and he really is the face of the Boston franchise. Going on to the Western Conference, there's a lot of stuff going on, but probably the most exciting one is the Russell Westbrook and James Harden race, the MVP race, as to say, because I think it's either going to be those two that's going to win the MVP. A lot of people are going to probably vote for James Harden just because he's posting up he's posting insane numbers, but he really is carrying the Rockets, and the Rockets, are they the 4th or 5th seed? I don't remember. But, looking up the Western Conference playoff standings, the Rockets stand at the 3rd seed. They're the 3rd seed. And the Thunder are the 7th seed. And I just think that with more wins, James Harden is going to get the MVP because he's doing things that no one else has ever seen before in the NBA. It's not just the stats. Everyone knows that James Harden puts up some of the most insane stats, but just like his 50-point triple-double against, I forgot which team, but that just shows you how good he is and how much talent he has, and that just shows you how much the Thunder really, really miss him for trading him. But there is a case to be made for Russell Westbrook. He really is leading the Thunder. He is more willing. He is willing the Thunder to a playoff spot. Without Russell Westbrook, where do you think the Thunder would be right now? They would probably be one of the worst teams in the NBA. They have some good players like Steven Adams and Victor Oladipo, but without Russell Westbrook, this team does not function. I know Russell Westbrook has a tendency to... he does shoot a lot. In fact, he shoots more than anyone in the NBA, and that is why he's able to average a triple-double right now. But the shots have to go in. Right? I mean, you can shoot all you want, but if the shots don't go in, then the points don't count. He's putting up 30-point triple-doubles, which is insane. He is averaging a triple-double. And if he averages a triple-double, and if the Thunder get a playoff spot, and if they win a playoff series, which would be very hard in the very tough Western Conference, then I think that he deserves the MVP because there is less talent around him, I say. Plus, it's not all about the stats for the MVP. He is one of the... I can't find the word, but is relentless and never giving up, persistent. I think those traits describe Russell Westbrook the best. he might not be the most talented player, even though he is definitely the most athletic. If he isn't the most talented player, then he has the most heart of anyone in the NBA. And I think heart matters more than any stat or any awards could ever bring you. Well, that's what I think. I think Russell Westbrook deserves the MVP, but let me know what you guys think about the MVP race. Well, that's it for this edition of The Dugout, and we will see you next time on The Dugout on Inside the Nest. Make sure to tune in every time the Inside the Nest comes on Sunday. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Michelle Alice speaking from Bible Babble, and you're listening to Inside the Nest. Alright, so for this week's show, we have something different. I'm alone again, sadly. Leona will be joining us next week, so, you just got 2 weeks of me, lucky you. Alrighty, so today's topic we can find in shortlydailydevotions.com. I highly recommend. It's a really cute site and very deep stuff. Today's topic is called Learning from the Leper, and the key text is Mark 1:40-42. And so it says, "And the leper came to him, imploring him, and kneeling said to him, 'If you will, you can make me clean.' Moved with pity, he stretched out his hand and touched him and said, 'I will, be clean.' And immediately the leprosy left him, and he was made clean." So, as we read this in Mark 1, there are a couple things that we can learn from it. First off, we can learn how humbly the man came to Jesus. We're used to just asking God for these things, and especially something this great. We just say, "God, please," if this were me, I'd just be like, "God, just take this away," But this man, he said, "If you will." And it's very different because we're used to demanding God to do stuff for us. And instead, we should be asking humbly. I'm not sure. Okay. But we should be asking God to make us clean. And by him saying, "if you will," it was giving God the option for him to do this. It was not just demanding God, yet again, that word demanding, not just saying, "God, give me a house. God, give me money to pay the rent this month," Although I don't face those problems, I'm not sure what struggles you guys are going through. But what I'm saying is just the way we ask God really has an effect. And what I thought was also interesting was that, how you always say that, if you ask things with the right amount of faith, then God will provide. Or I don't know if I'm the only one I've heard it before. Anyways, if this were the case, then Jesus would definitely have been like, "No, dude, come on, have some faith. I mean, do you know who you're talking to?" But he didn't. He was like, "Yeah, I got this." And then I thought that was interesting, just because it's not about an amount of faith in which we have to ask. It's just asking and just handing it over to God and just us knowing that God could handle it. And I thought that was really interesting. What we also learn is the compassion of Jesus. And yes, we talk about this so often, but yet we always see it. Jesus could have easily said, "Dude, just be clean." But he wasn't. He said, "I will." And by saying that, it was just like, I understand what you're going through, and I will clean you. And not only that, but he reaches out to this man, this guy that was kicked out of freaking society because he was just gross. I mean, ugh. Jesus just really impresses me, just because when people cough, that just freaks me out. Like, I jump, I get disgusted, I just run away. And so I'm not saying I'm a big germ freak, but when someone's coughing or burping or anything, then that just really grosses me out. But for Jesus, this guy, his skin is falling apart. He probably doesn't even look like a man anymore. He just a big old blob of ew. But he reaches out to him and he's just like, I got this. And because he asked this way, I will do it. And it's not saying God cares about how we ask, but I do think it is important how we ask. And I think it's mostly important that we leave it all to him. So, what did we learn? We learned that we have to be insightful in how we ask God. Just because, oh my goodness, I know I've asked so many things to God, and not saying that he didn't answer them, because actually, whatever I ask God, he always answers them. And it takes me a while sometimes, especially if I don't know, or I don't want to know. Okay, that didn't make sense. And sometimes it just takes me a while to notice, because sometimes I really don't want to accept the answer that he's given me. But the answer is there. So, just keep in mind that although we can ask God and he says, come lay down your burdens on me, but the way we ask is important as well. That we have to ask with that respect, knowing that we lay our problems to him, and that he can fix them, and that he can make the impossible happen. Anyways, I thought that was a really cute thought. Something that we can definitely learn, especially from a man that, he probably thought that no one could learn anything from him, just because he was in the state of mind that, no one liked him. Everyone rebuked him because of, what he looked like and what he smelled and all of these funky stuff. But instead, he's a big lesson to us. And with that, we're going to finish off with a quote. All right, so this quote I found, it says, "Don't ask God why he's allowing something to happen. Ask him what he wants you to learn and do in the midst of it." And another one by Miriam Teenver. I hope I said that right. And it says, "If your load is too heavy, remember God will help you. Just ask him." So guys, don't be afraid. And yes, last week actually, we talked about asking God, about your dreams. So dare to ask. Oh, and that brings me back to another story that actually I don't really know it that well, so I won't share. Which means you guys got to stay tuned for next week so I can look up that story and confidently tell you. And yeah, we'll have a good time. All right, guys, catch you next week. This was Michelle Alice speaking in Bible Babble.
Welcome back. This is Robert Martinez, executive producer for Inside the Nest. We're so excited that you joined us today in our show for this wonderful day. And we are, of course, going to be back next week. And so tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. And have a great day. Here's Darian to say goodbye.
Peace, y'all.
And William.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
All right. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Hi, I'm Brian Kittleson, principal of Spencerville Adventist Academy. Thank you for listening to Inside the Nest, produced by the students of SAA as part of our Service Learning Through Community Partners initiative. To support this program and learn more about Spencerville Adventist Academy, please visit spencervilleacademy.org and schedule an educational consult.